Okay, so let me just go to inventory.component.html file, and over here I'll add the code for a row which will just describe the fields that we have on the form, and I'll save it and come back to the browser. Over here we are seeing the labels also for the fields, and now what I want is an action being performed when I click on this submit button after filling some values. So for that we have to consider this form and take all of this data and submit the form once the data is filled. For that, what we'll do is I'll have a function created on the TS file. Okay, so here is the TS file related to this component. Now what I am saying is on submit, this should be a function. Return type is void. I don't want anything to be returned, and I just want to alert form submitted successfully. And now how will the form know that this function is to be called? When I am clicking on the button from the HTML file, that link has to be done, right? So for that, what we'll do is just have an ng submit attribute and call the function. So this is the function, and currently we are not validating any field, so I'll just add a no validate attribute also, saving it. One more thing that we have to do is add an import of the form module. So what we are saying is we are asking this particular component to import the forms module and perform the submit action. We are having it in imports, saving the file, going to the browser now, and now I click on submit. So just an alert should come, and here it is. It says form submitted successfully. That is the message that we had given. Over here if you see, form submitted successfully, right? So currently we are not showing any data which was entered in the fields. We are not just considering any data that was entered in the fields. I just wanted you to show how the form submission would work, and now step by step we'll take the fields also into consideration. So after that, what we are doing, okay, so now for that, what I'm going to do is bind this input field that we have, not just one but all of the input fields, to the variables that we'll access on the component.ts file. So you might already be aware about two-way binding, and that is what we are going to perform here. For that, so I'm just giving the data structure, just giving it some default values. We have product ID, product name, available quantity, it could be 0, and then we have reorder point. Okay, so the values with colons instead of equal to. Okay, so saving it, and I want to take these variables for the two-way binding. So this is the first input field that we have, and I want to provide the model for it, inventory data dot product ID, and also give the name, that is product ID. I think this should suffice. The next one we have is product name, just confirming the name from the TS file. Yes, it's product name. So using the third variable here, available quantity, and then there is the last one, that is reorder point. So just I'll copy the name from here and use it. Okay, so saving it. Now what I want is, I just want to show this data also. Okay, what I'm saying is that this is a JSON, right? All of the data would be available in JSON format. For that, I just want to use the stringify function and pass the inventory data in it, saving it. So we'll go to the browser. Over here, what I'm doing is giving some random values. I click on submit, and you see that the alert box is successfully showing all of the fields that are present with their correct values in the JSON format. So this part is successfully achieved. After this, we'll move on to the backend code for the API and create a link to submit the form and send it to the web API request.